What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Awakening World. It is the start of our new spring season, and we're going to have a really wonderful special week. We are 5 years old. The very, very first show that we did was 5 years ago, April 3rd, so one day away. And look, here we are 5 years later, over 600 shows later, and we're starting our new season tonight with a really special offering. One of the great things that's happened over the years is there's certain things that we do every year, certain festivals and events. And one of our absolute favorite festivals is the Illuminate Film Festival. It was in Sedona for many years. Then last year they moved to Santa Barbara. I'll actually be there in person in Santa Barbara when it takes place in early May. We're going to learn all about Illuminate Film Festival, and we're also going to see some of the main filmmakers, including, you know them as amazing musical artists, and they are going to play music, the Brothers Quarren, and they are with us live. So we're looking forward to hearing them and seeing a little bit about their movie. We have a new friend, Benedict, just coming to us all the way from Germany, and he's in Munich. So it's about 3 o'clock in the morning. Thank you, Benedict, for doing that. And you remember this wonderful lady, Dana and Chrisana. They were wonderful, beloved members of the show a couple of years ago. There's Chrisana. It took me a moment to find her. And so they're with us again because they have a wonderful new film all about the love of horses, which I'm really looking forward to that. My mother used to raise Morgan horses. And all of this takes place because of this wonderful, amazing woman. Our co-host for the night, the artistic director of the Illuminate Film Festival, Tayana David, is with us. And I also want to acknowledge we're going to hear from Olivia Hansen because they have a whole exciting new part to the festival, which is the micro shorts. And we're going to learn all about the micro shorts, and we're going to see some of the micro shorts. And as fate would have it, one of the micro shorts that's been accepted has been was created by one of our absolute favorite global peace drivers. She's with us live, and that's, of course, our beautiful Tatiana Spring. So we have a wonderful show planned, and I'm glad you're all with us. And as always, we'd like to start our show right off the bat with some music. Our house musical artist and our beloved brother, Omar Shar, is here to take it away.
yourself with the waves of love passing through. Think not anything. You're the one you're waiting for. We have now received all the blessings of all time. Come and celebrate what we've all become. Life is you, love is you, and be all that you are. Show the world you are true, and all the earth will rise and answer you. No need to hesitate. Open hearts can walk right through. There is no door or gate that could hold your love at bay. We encourage you to hold only to what is true. Your life is yours to make. All your wildest dreams come true. Life is you, love is you, and be all that you are. Show the world you are true, and all the earth will rise and answer you. Life is you, love is you, be all that you are. Show the world you are true, and all the earth will rise and answer you.
Let's give a beautiful twinkle to our beloved Omishar. I love that song. It is so, the flute, oh, so sweet, so beautiful. Thank you, beloved brother. And he'll be back with 2 more songs tonight. So thank you very much for being here, my friend. And a wonderful way to start the new season. And I get to introduce Tayana David. Welcome back, Tayana.
Thank you, Scott, and congratulations on 5 years of the Awakening World. And by the way, I love that you call it the Awakening World and not the Awakened World, because we're always in process, right? It's like what Irvin Laszlo says, like, why do we call a tree a tree? It should be a treeing, because it's always in the process of becoming what it is, or becoming its greater next to be, yet to be. So congratulations, and thank you, Omashar. You know, your song is just a testament to the power of art as a transmission, right? Like we receive on so many levels beyond just sort of a logical level. And that's a good segue maybe to talk about Illuminate and the power of film.
Absolutely. For those watching who don't know about Illuminate, please tell them a little bit about it. Of course, we'll put the links into the chat box throughout the evening. We'll take a look at the website. But please go ahead and
Great,
tell
great.
people a little bit about the festival.
Oh, my pleasure. So Illuminate was founded 11 years ago now in Sedona by Danette Walpert Holman. And she is now the president of Illuminate. And a couple years ago now, we decided, when I came on board, we decided that Illuminate was really poised to grow. Sedona is quite a small population, and it is a little tricky to get to. And it just seemed like Illuminate was really ready for its better yet to be, or like larger yet to be, let's say. And so Santa Barbara seemed to be the natural next step where it could be more accessible. Santa Barbara is just 2 hours or less north of LA by car. It has its own airport, and it has a population that's about 10 times that of Sedona. So we just thought, now Illuminate's a teenager. Let's move it into a new space. And it was a big success last year, its first year in Santa Barbara. So we're building on that. And this year we've expanded the festival from 3 days to 4 days. We've brought in the Industry Hive, which is a whole day for conscious creators and those who fund conscious projects and advisors, all sorts of, experts in distribution, people who might even be green lighting your conscious film. They will all be at the Industry Hive. Panels, workshops, mentoring, case studies even. People who are making films or have made films will be sharing with the others at the Industry Hive what's working, what's not working. So we're really excited to bring this whole day to Santa Barbara, the Industry Hive, and that will kick off our entire festival, which has about, 14 feature-length films. Then once the festival in person is complete, it goes into a whole week of a virtual festival, which has even more offerings, including a film that we're going to hear about this evening, The Heart Revolution, directed by Benedict Just, who's with us from Germany, as you mentioned earlier, Scott. We also have, this is so exciting, it's new this year, and it is made possible by Olivia Hansen of the Spiritual Life TV channel. It's the Micro Shorts Contest, The Oneness of Humanity, Love, Kindness, and Joy. And this has been such just a joy to work on, because we have received over 700 submissions from all over the world, people just interpreting this theme, the oneness of humanity, love, kindness, and joy, through their own creative lens. And, we have seen the most magical little 90-second or less stories of how we can create a kind world, how we can create a more caring civilization. It's so inspiring to see how creators have taken this theme in through their own sensibilities and then created magic, whether it's animated or using AI, whether it's like a music video with music, or all sorts of other ways that creators have interpreted this. It's just been an absolute delight, and we're going to share some of those later. So stick around for that. They're on YouTube right now. There's a People's Choice category where we filtered down 700 to, I think it's 55, and they're all on YouTube on the Illuminate Film Festival YouTube channel. And so people can go and vote for their favorites. Really encourage everybody to do that. Maybe we could put the link in the chat, Scott, for the Illuminate YouTube channel. I might even have it here handy. Nope, did not. So let's see if someone can find the Illuminate YouTube and put it in the chat, and then everybody can go vote. And like I said, we'll be sharing some examples of the micro shorts a little bit later. But I think we could start by showcasing what will be our closing night film of the in-person festival. That'll be May 4th in Santa Barbara. And this film is actually the pilot episode of a series in development. It's called The Journey, and it's created by the brothers Corin, who are with us from Ojai. So maybe, let's see, I feel like maybe we can start actually by showing the trailer, if that works for you, Scott, and then we can talk a little bit about it and then go into a musical performance live with the Corins. So
Here we go.
Okay.
Welcome to the first makeover show in the world that uses music instead of makeup. We are the brothers Corin. We invited two complete strangers, both inhibited and searching for answers, to go on a journey to reclaim their voice through song and change their lives forever.
It's such an honor to be here, yes.
I only spent a small amount of time thinking I should turn around and go back.
Oh my God.
We want to invite you both to being willing to explore your voice.
Not only are we going to write an original song, but you're also going to record it. And then we're going to have an audience and a stage, and
We'll be performing. What's possible at the end of this week for you, Nick?
A panic attack.
Jen, do you want to go first?
Do I want?
Yes, yes.
I'm sitting next to a drainage ditch and I'm hiding.
I'm in bed in the dark and I'm scared.
Imagine you're making a movie about it. What do you see?
Mercy and the darkness fall, descend into the ground.
Look around, girl. It's just me and you.
Furrowed field full of seeds. The sex reference, everybody.
I'm very concerned at how high that is.
I never like the sound of my own voice.
I am super nervous.
We want you to welcome the nerves. You got this.
We invite you to see that there's never been a voice like you. And we want you to fall in love with who you are at the core.
I still feel like I'm carrying around a lot of trauma of the last year.
It's a very surreal feeling. I feel a lot of fear.
When we see people, the world has taught so many of us, I better look good, I better sound good. And I want to help you just throw that up. What do you say?
It's really scary.
I got emotional when I read that.
Whatever comes out is going to be you. And it's going to be amazing. And that is the magic of music.
Welcome to the journey.
There you go, you're already a recording artist.
Oh, there we have it. It was that easy the whole time.
Ah, what a brilliant trailer, you two.
Thank you so much, Tiana. It's such a thrill to be here tonight and also be part of the Illuminate Film Festival this year. It's such a privilege. So thank you. Get to do something together as well, and it's fantastic to be here tonight as well. Thank you, Scott.
Oh, it's great to see you guys again. Of course, you were on Saturday Night Live, the Global Peers Tribe, I think a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
And I love your trailer. It's just it's so uplifting, and we need that. I'll turn over to you guys in a moment. I just want to say today I've had back-to-back meetings with evolutionary leaders and another group talk about how to manage our way through these challenging times. And a theme is we need to sing more, we need to dance more, we need to make more music. We need to lighten up, and we can still enjoy life. It's okay. It's legal and it's needed.
Yes.
And that's what I was thinking again as I was watching your trailer. It was like there's so much joy in that trailer, and you clearly helping these two people as an example find their voice. So it seems like a really perfect film for this time.
Thank you. Yeah, well, we have so much we could share about it. It's what wakes us up in the morning to help people from all walks of life come home to themselves, fall back into trust and love with being home in their body, and actually begin to sound out parts of their life that maybe went unsupported, unsounded, unheard. And song becomes this incredible medicinal container for mental and emotional health to become a real experience for people, that these ancient mediums of voice, music, song can actually help us transform. And so it's been a dream of ours to make this documentary and of course our eventual TV show. And so we just every day on a daily basis see people rediscover a part of themselves that's been missing, and maybe just disassociated. And that's what we need more than ever in the world, is people at home in themselves, sounding out how it feels to be them. And that we see the power of coherence creation through music, song, voice for this piece we're all looking to help contribute toward.
Did I hear you say your upcoming TV show?
That is the absolute hope, that this long form documentary that we've made gets worked into.
This is the pilot of a TV show in development, in process.
Wow. So each week you'll take a different person or people on a similar journey.
That's the idea.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
That's exactly it.
Yeah, and I love that it's called The Journey, because it reminds me of something Ram Dass has said, which is something like, the most important journey you'll ever take is from here to here.
Yes.
I feel like that's where you're taking people. It's a journey inside. And like you said, by journeying inside, you actually find your way home, to your true home. And in these...
Whoops.
Exactly that.
Yeah. Tana, I think, just froze.
Yeah. That's
I know
okay.
you guys have to leave soon.
Well, we'd love to share a
Can you
song.
give the number? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Especially when you call it a number.
Yeah.
Good old days.
Yeah. And we encourage everyone that is here tonight or watching this recording to join us in Santa Barbara, if it's possible, at the virtual piece of the Illuminate Film Fest. We wanted to share a song that is really the culmination of many years for us, a journey as artists. We started our work and are still very much artists. We lived out a big part of this teenage dream to become the next biggest band in the world. We got a certain adventure toward that aim and discovered so much on the road. And
so much more was possible.
So much more. We had this also this awakening to help foster and nurture other people, to become their brothers in voice, music, song. And so today we get to, through our courses and programs, get to do that very work with them, come alongside them as they rediscover and reconnect to themselves. But this song that we're about to share with you is kind of our culmination journey song thus far in our lives together. It took us a year to write. And
in fact, we didn't get to finish the song until we were on a call with the evolutionary leaders. And a dear friend, Kristen, who is singing here all the time, we believe, she helped us, and the whole evolutionary leaders group helped us write this last half of this song. And so, the other element of music that we didn't get to mention was that, yes, it connects us home with the self, but then through that doorway, we get to connect and feel a sense of community and belonging. And that is the ancient right of music and voice, which is that it ultimately connects us with the self and others. And so this song really is a coming home song that we got to write with others also. It's called Long Way Home, and you can find it. It's out now everywhere, streaming and otherwise. So thanks for your reception of this.
Fantastic.
Yes,
yeah.
I never thought I would make it on my own. I took the long way home. I never thought I could fill this hole, and it hurts to say I took the long way home. But I fear I've strayed. I took the long way home, but I'm home. now. I'm here now. I felt so little as I grow old. It hurts to say I took the long way home. And I tried so hard to be well known, and it hurts to say I took the long way home. Yeah. And I feel I've changed and took the long way home, but I'm home. To break while the other part just celebrates. I'm here now. I'm here now. Half my heart hesitates while the other part just says, don't wait. I'm here now. I'm here now. Ooh, yeah. We were made for this moment. We were made for this lifetime. We are instruments of change. We are living for this hour. Say yes, say yes, say yes. We were made for this moment. We were made for this lifetime. We are instruments of change. We are living for this hour. Say yes, say yes, say yes. Out. Where are you? Where are you now? I never thought I would close your eyes. It hurts to say you took the long way home. And I never thought I could lose you twice. It hurts to say you took the long way home, but I see your face on the long way home. It's worth the wait, the long way home. Thanks, Iggy.
I love how you arranged for your dog to come in with a bark just at the closing, you know, like an exclamation point to it.
Great timing, yes.
Absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous song.
Thank you so much. And to you, Scott, for having us, to Tiana, and to the Illuminate Film Fest. Thank you so much.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I look forward to, and you'll be there in person for your film?
Yes, we will.
Yes. I will look forward to seeing you in person, and I know a lot of our audience members are really enjoying it. And just to remind everybody, you can find them on YouTube. If you just go to YouTube and put in the Brothers Corin, and notice it says "and the Ken," and some of their music videos and shorts show up. So
we were cast in the same play. He was just another good.
Your voice is important. You don't know how to touch base.
Anyway, you can find them on YouTube. Is there a link to your website?
We'll throw it in the chat, but it's brotherscorin.com. We'll throw it in right now. Just brotherscorin.com, and everything we're up to, courses, programs, journeys, and in-person things that we do, workshops we get to facilitate around the country. It's all there. We hope we get to be your brothers in your voice too.
And we'll see
it's
you
what
at
we wake up
Illuminate.
for. See you at Illuminate.
Thanks, Tiana.
All right, God bless you
Thanks,
guys.
Isaac and Torald. Thank you so much, and see you in a few weeks in
Can't
Santa
wait.
Barbara.
We can't wait. Thank
We
you.
can't wait either.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm back. My internet just decided to stop working suddenly, but I'm glad I'm back.
Welcome back. And of course, the brothers were amazing. And I think,
As always.
I think Benedict is next.
Oh, great. Oh, so excited to tell people about Benedict's film. So Benedict is the director of The Heart Revolution, and Illuminate actually has the world premiere. Benedict, maybe you could talk a little bit about your journey with The Heart Revolution, and then we'll show the trailer and then talk more.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure, although it's 3 a.m. here in the morning. Yeah, well, the movie is had a long time coming. We worked on it for 7 years. Would probably not have started it if I knew that from the beginning. I thought like, well, 1.5 years and we're done. But it was a journey, and so as we went on with the production, we found parts of the story that we didn't know before that needed to be in there. And the whole question the film asks is, what's the purpose of the human heart? And since 300 years, most people, not just scientists, but everyday people, even spiritual people, if they ask them, what's the function of the heart, literally the heart, would say like, well, it pumps blood around the body, which now scientists show that this is just not a good way to define the function of the human heart, not even on a physical level. Yeah, and the change, the revolutionary change in the worldview, what that means, and the implications for not just medicine, but every field of our human lives are beyond imagination. If you watch the film, you'll see what it has to do with the mother-child bonding, during pregnancy, and how that affects the life of the new coming in human. Back to what happens after life, with a story from Anita Morjani, who shares that communication from her experience in the afterlife is purely emotions, which has to do with the heart. So yeah, we hope that it is a playful exploration that doesn't come along with that's how it is, but more like, whoa, it's so much more than we thought. So what is it, and what does that mean? And yeah, we hope it's playful and more like a curious child exploring life.
Oh, what a wonderful intention as a filmmaker, Benedict, as a director. We hope it's playful and that it inspires curiosity. Thank you for that, because it does shine through your film. And you're not telling us what to think, you're actually provoking questions. And I think that's so powerful as a media maker, to just inspire curiosity and provoke us as the audience to kind of lean forward and just like, let me think a little more about this now that I have new information. And your film certainly does provide a lot of new information about what the heart's function could be when we think about it, not just as a physical organ, but also as a sort of a transmission receiver or something. And I feel like so many of the mystics have known this over time. I mean, look at Rumi. Rumi knows and knew that the heart is not just a physical organ. It actually is a portal to eternity. And I think so many spiritual teachers and mystics know this. Don't you think?
I think so, yeah. And the hope is, with all the talk about AI being the headlines everywhere, for a reason, it is a powerful tool. But I think now the question, what does it mean to be human, and what makes us human, becomes no longer, a philosophical musing, but it might become really an existential question for especially, for those in power, how to choose to navigate humanity. You want to have big tech companies tell people, well, the next step in human evolution is to put a chip in your brain. And a lot of people, we love convenience. We have microwaves, and we have had all the technology we have is because we like convenience. So it's easy to sway us to do these things. But I think now it's really the question, what makes us human? And if we focus on the brain, on the mind, and all the new excitement in academia about consciousness, which tries to figure out what did the saints and sages and religious tradition tell us, if we focus it on the brain, we might just overlook an important part. And it's exactly what you said, that spiritual traditions from around the world talked about the heart as being the essential part of being human.
Great. Well, I think let's watch the trailer and then we can talk a little bit more.
If you think the heart is a pump, you miss all this.
Every culture has their word for it. Higher self, spirit, soul. This research suggests that's quite real.
The first time I heard of this project, I was like, are you kidding me?
Lee was focusing mostly on an experimental situation where the heart's not working, and still there's flow.
So the next question should be, what's the role of heart? And that's a question that I don't know the answer to.
For me, the shift in consciousness that everybody's talking about is real.
Babies are more conscious in some ways than we are.
If we lose connection with the heart, how it guides us and how it allows us to feel this beauty of connectedness, then we're lost.
When we die, we realize that, oh my gosh, I could have created heaven on earth.
The heart is literally an access point to that deeper source of intelligence within us.
It's that flourishing heart that helps us build who we are at all of our other levels.
What to do with the heart, how to awaken it, I think this is the fundamental human question.
Once the work is over, the heart resumes the activity. That is the moment of truth and thrill and reward. If this is correct, it really is a kind of revolution.
Wow, powerful, Benedict, and ask so many questions. I feel like I have a million questions, and I have the privilege of having seen the whole film. So for those who have not seen the whole film but will, by the way, on Monday, May 5th at 2 p.m., we're having like a live watch party of Benedict's film. So write that down. So it's March 5th, 2 p.m. That's on Monday, and that's, what's that? May. Thank you, May. And that's the first day of the virtual festival. So we're all going to watch it in community together and then speak with Benedict again after. So Benedict, I mean, this film is saying scientists have discovered that even once the heart has stopped pumping because somebody passes away, the blood is still circulating in the body for quite some time. And that sort of indicates that the heart is not just a pump. Could you elaborate on that?
Yeah, so it's important there is no tests done on humans stop their heart. So Dr. Zheng Li, the Chinese guy in the movie, at the University of Washington. So they discovered years ago that by accident, they discovered that it's important to say many revolutionary findings in science actually happened by accident. So they discovered that there was a there was a little a little tray with water in it, and they had nanotubes. These are very, very like tubes. They're thinner than your hair, one hair, and they discovered that water was flowing through them without anything driving the flow. So they researched that more and then asked the question, well, if that's happening just in this tray of water, what does that mean for the flow of water in general in nature? Because, you know, everything in nature, from the human body to trees to everything, it flows in some kind of tubes. And water, as we know, is the main ingredient of life. You don't have life without water. So long story short, they came up with the thesis that there is another force besides the heart pushing and pumping the blood, you know. There's another force, and with these experiments, what they did is they had 3 days old chicken embryos. They had to use those, and they stopped the heart, and then they could see that the blood flow continues. It's slower, much slower than when the heart is still beating. But the interesting thing is when you add infrared light, just a light source, in that situation where there's no heart pushing the blood, significantly, you see it in the film, significantly the blood flow increases, so the blood moves faster. So that leads to a reasonable conclusion that there is a secondary mechanism inside the body, and it's probably driven by infrared light, that is an additional force that creates a basic momentum and basic movement of the blood. And then the heart is doing something and to this flow. But what it does, that we couldn't have everything in the movie, but there is more and more research that the heart is doing absolutely fantastically crazy things that no one could even think about. And it has less to do with the idea of forcefully pushing blood through this, through the body, but more like when you ride a bike, you know, once you are on the bike and you start the bike, you have a certain momentum, and you have to pedal, but it's more about keeping balance. You know, you can go slower and faster, but you have to keep the balance. And that's more what the heart does. It does something with the blood flow, but the blood moves on its own. And just this implications for our society, especially now with governments, central government, pushing and forcing people to do something. It's a very different idea than people know what to do. Just give them a healthy environment and space, and they're going to do healthy things. And we're going to help them, you know, sure, we all need streets to go on. So there needs to be some coordination of what large groups of people need. But you don't need to force and push them every minute, every second of the day and tell them what to do and what to think and what to feel and what not to do. But just help, you know, like the heart, it's a listening, it needs to listen and direct some forces that are already moving. Yeah, it was a longer answer. Sorry, I went.
I love what you're saying though about like trusting the organic nature of an organism, whether that be like a single organism or an organism of a society. That societies, when given healthy circumstances, they know how to flow, they know how to move without being forced into maybe rigid pathways.
Yeah, I think that's you know, that's not in the movie, but that's one of these implications where I say if you watch the movie and then you start to think about the parallels of especially the heart with this idea of pushing and forcing things to the body, it's very different than, you know, this receiving something, like you said in the beginning. It's a communication. It listens and it receives and it gives. It changes polarities. It's a very different view than this forceful pushing. No.
Well, I mean, we have mechanized the human body, right? Since 300 years ago or so, we've sort of looked at the body as a machine that is complicated rather than a complex natural organism. Two
Right.
totally different things.
Yeah.
Benedict, there's two questions that have come in from the audience that I want to ask you.
Sure.
From Diara, she asks, are you aware of a diamond-like crystal particle that's in the center of the heart? Apparently, surgeons know about it and protect it at all costs. Does that ring a bell in your research?
I've heard about it. Unfortunately, I haven't followed up on it, but I've heard about it. And I definitely must follow up on that. So if that person could send me some information, that would be amazing, because I definitely I must follow up on that. Absolutely.
Okay, great. And then the other question is, in the trailer, there's this quick little moment where we hear a woman say, when I died, if I had known I could create heaven on earth. That's really grabbed a couple people's attention. Can you share with us a little bit more about that and how it relates to your film?
Yeah, so that part is Anita Morjani, who shares her
Oh,
story.
okay. Anita's been on the show. Okay.
Yeah, so Anita Morjani, I'm so thankful that Anita heard my pitch many years ago and said, oh, that's a lovely story, and so she wants to be part of it. And the reason we put this in, because first it's like, okay, what do you need a near-death experience within a movie about the heart? But for me, what I wanted to explore with the film is, what's the purpose and what's the role of the human heart? And so the story arc that we have is basically human life, from couple falling in love, birth, child growing up, and then death, and then the question, what happens after death. And what intrigued me the most, and I also had the pleasure of interviewing, I lost the name, Dr. Long, I think, founder of the near-death research. And so he also mentioned that there is ample of evidence that people say in the afterlife, communication is not so much, it's not words that we are using now constantly, but it's through emotions. And that's where we all cycle back to music. That's why music is my big love. And I think that's one of the things that people in the discussion about emotions might not be fully aware of. Emotions have primarily nothing to do with words. They are pre-verbal. An emotion is pre-verbal. It's your first reaction to anything in life before the mind reflects and conceptualizes it. So an emotion is more like a music, more like a chord, or a melody in a chord, or rhythm and melody. It can be cringy, grooves, and disharmonic. It can be very harmonic, very wide, very small, very tiny, very anything, but it doesn't really have verbal content in it. And so now, I'm sorry, I totally lost my train of thought. Where we're going.
I know she also had her friend Roland McCarty from Heart Math. And
he's also,
of course, a lot of what you're talking about is very similar to what we've heard when we've had members of Heart Math, including Roland, on the show.
Absolutely. And I just want to say, a couple other phrases in the trailer that stood out to me was how the heart guides us. And this is Roland McCready saying, the heart is an access point to like a deeper intelligence. So both of those to me point to intuition. Yeah. And I think you're right, Benedict. Earlier you said we often think about consciousness as sort of, I don't know, a neurological thing. But what if the seat of consciousness is the heart? And what if the heart is really what is guiding us intuitively, like when we just know something, or when we really have that internal guidance to go somewhere or do something, that it's coming from the heart rather than the brain.
Yeah. And also in these moments, I think many people can say, like, well, you have this feeling and it's not yet a formed thought, like, I need to do this. It's just a feeling that pulls you somewhere or stops you from going somewhere, but it's more like pre-verbal. And then you, through some processes, you make it conscious, and then you go like, oh yeah, maybe I should do this or not do that. And that's exactly what makes it so hard to use the heart more in our everyday lives, because we don't have schools. We learn languages, great, it's important. We learn math, great, it's important. We learn all these things. They're all focused on using the brain with certain repetition and learning and patterns, but it focuses on something that's not the heart. And I think I have no questions, doubt about that, and hopefully we could do a film about that in a couple next years, that with a very simple program, and even the Dalai Lama, has an initiative where he says explicitly, we must not forget to educate the hearts of the students and not just the minds. So I hope this could, spread more the idea, because you just need 1 hour a week to help students focus on what they feel. And then I think, with, like when you do dream journaling, you wake up and you barely know anything. But you do this a couple of weeks, and I stopped writing it down because it was ridiculous. I could remember every single detail of my dreams. And I was like, nah, that's not working for me. The more you focus on something, no matter what it is, and to learn something, you need to focus your attention. And the more sophisticated your awareness will become of what you're focusing. So if you're focusing on outside, on thinking, that's where you get more and more better. And if we would have, in schools, teaching kids how to focus on their heart, what's happening in the heart, they would just learn more and more sophisticated. And I honestly, I have a very good imagination, but I cannot imagine how our society would look like if we were all taught how to, listen to our hearts. Sounds so poetic, metaphorical, mystical. No, it's a very, very, very real thing. And it can give you information and insights about life that you have a hard time reaching with deductive and linear thinking.
Thank you, Benedict. I feel that your film is going to be the beginning, or let's say a continuation of a revolution that this community and a lot of communities are feeling. And so just thank you for adding to the momentum, not the pumped momentum, but the natural momentum of heart intelligence as our collective guide as we navigate these uncertain times together as a society and a global peace tribe.
Benedict, thank you so much. And I want to remind everybody, especially anybody who maybe is tuned in a little bit late, that we are with the Illuminate Film Festival today. This is our annual preview and celebration of the Illuminate Film Festival, which is a hybrid festival. You can attend live in Santa Barbara, May 1st through 4th, or participate in the online virtual version of the festival, or do both. The virtual festival is May 5 to 11, and it's going to kick off with a watch party for the film that we've just been talking about, this beautiful film created by Benedict, just coming to us from Germany. And you can get all the information by going to illuminatefilmfestival.com, illuminatefilmfestival.com. And we're going to be back with some more of the filmmakers, and we're going to see some of the microfilms. But we're right at about the mid-show point, and that means it's time for an Omashar song.
fades away. The love in our hearts will melt the darkest day. Ba-da-da-dum-dum-ba. Ba-da-da-dum-dum-dum. Da-da-da-da-dum-dum-dum. So when it seems that you're alone and the fears knock at your door, remember I am just a breath away. You are my brightest star. You've just forgotten who you are. Remember there is nothing in the way. And just know there really is a plan. The sun will always shine, and with your hand in mine, our heaviness fades away. The love in our hearts will melt the darkest day. Ba-da-da-dum-dum-dum. Da-da-da-dum-dum-dum. So when it seems that you're alone and the fears knock at your door, remember I am just a breath away. And just know there really is a plan. The sun will always shine, and with your hand in mine, heaviness fades away. The love in our hearts will melt the darkest day. The love in our hearts will melt the darkest day. Ba-da-da-dum-dum-dum. Ba-da-da-dum-dum-dum. The love in our hearts will melt the darkest day.
Let's all give Omashar a big, beautiful global peace tribe twinkle. And thank you so much, Omashar, for these beautiful, beautiful songs. I want to remind everybody that you can find all things Omashar at omashar.com, his website. And it's having a little trouble opening, so we'll show it again later. But that's where you can find Omashar. And he'll be back for our closing song tonight. And Tayana, of course, we're going to go to our next filmmakers in a moment, but someone very special just came slipping into our Zoom room. And I want to take a moment and spotlight Danette Wolpert.
Ooh, Danette Welpert-Holman, founder of Illuminate.
Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a magical evening.
We are. We're talking all about the heart and recognizing the theme of this year's Illuminate, which really is flowing through so many of the films and the micro shorts. And obviously our poster art this year is the heart with flowers blooming out of it and pollinators. So that all started with you, Danette, back in 2014.
Yes, well, I'm so grateful, to just feel the theme this year come through, looking through the lens of love, which it just felt like really coming home, right back to, first of all, why Illuminate was founded to begin with. And, really, I feel like that is truly what the world is calling for right now. And it's just so fundamental. And it's really, truly a part of our essence, as spiritual beings in a human body. And when we look through the lens of love, everything appears different than when we are looking at it from our very earthly human point of view.
And thanks for reminding us that is the theme, looking at the world through the lens of love. And that's so important in this particular time on our planet and in our human history.
It is, and I just want to share that we collectively sort of channeled that theme with the Holo movement, our key sponsors, who are also very valued members of this community and the greater evolutionary community. So yeah, looking through the lens of love, there's so many ways we could think about that. It's like when you're a filmmaker, you know, making your film, can you be looking through the lens of love, right? At your subjects, at your topic. When you're an audience member, can you be looking through the lens of love as you watch films? So you're really watching with an open heart and really allowing that empathy that is so naturally generated through films, right? Like we get to see other people's worlds and experiences, and that generates empathy. Film is such a powerful medium for that, as I know Danette recognized, 11 years ago when she founded Illuminate. And then just as human beings, like you said, Scott, just walking around, like, can we look through the lens of love at the world and keep our lenses polished, right? Because they get cloudy. Like we're human, but like how much can we polish our lenses?
I brought Olivia on too, because since you brought up the Holo movement, and there's this wonderful kind of flow between the Holo movement and the Evolutionary Leaders Circle and Illuminate Film Festival and Unity Earth and Global Peace Tribe. And we all kind of weave in and out of each other's lives in beautiful and wonderful ways.
It's so true. And I would just love to weave into the micro shorts, because Olivia and Spiritual Life TV channel is the sponsor of this contest that has just added so much color and life to Illuminate this year, brought so much joy. So yes, this is the Oneness of Humanity, Love, Kindness, and Joy micro short film contest. This was a seed that Olivia planted about a year ago now, Olivia, because I remember we announced it at the 2024 Illuminate, right? And now it's happening. It is blossoming, coming to fruition. We've had over 700 entries.
Right.
And now there are 55 which have made it to the People's Choice category. And those 55 will be further, whittled down to some finalists. And so we'll show, 15 or 20 at the Illuminate Film Festival, both in person and virtually. So maybe Olivia, you could say a little bit about what inspired this contest and anything else you'd like to share.
Sure, yes. Well, it was at the end of 2023 when I went to Dharamsala, India, and presented the Oneness of Humanity Award to the Dalai Lama. And Deborah Moldow and Diane Williams went with me. And then Scott, if you'll remember, we were on your show.
Yeah, we did a whole show about your trip. Yeah.
Yes. And we had pictures. The Dalai Lama's film team did all these wonderful pictures and so forth. But one of the things I remember, I mean, we were presenting the award and in the middle of it, he stopped us, okay. And then he looked directly at the camera and said, "The oneness of humanity is my most important mission." And we thought, wow, that is amazing, because, it could have been so many things. I mean, here he is, the leader of Buddhism and so many interests that he has. But that really stuck with me. And I thought, okay, we were giving the award to His Holiness the Dalai Lama because he's such a role model of oneness and kindness and compassion. But how could we take this now back into our daily lives and all of us in humanity? How is this expressed in humanity, this oneness idea that we're all connected and love and kindness and compassion are important? And just by asking that question, this insight, this little intuition came to me. Well, how about these cute little short films with many filmmakers that can bring this idea to life in so many different ways, depending upon where they are and where they live, what their experiences were. And so the more I played around with that, and I had the idea, and then someone sent me a cute little film.
Uh-oh.
She'll be back.
And I just took a bite of
Yeah.
something. Oh, there she is. Okay.
Yeah. So let's do it. And then it's just been a joy working with them, and we've just had the most wonderful time. And then this response, but I thought this is a new contest. Let's put up some money because we knew we could attract a lot of young filmmakers too, that this would be a great opportunity for exposure for them. And if they're in college or whatever, in film schools as well. So we thought, well, let's put up some money to get people's attention and also reward those that are maybe taking time away from work or jobs, school to do this. So we have $25,000 in prizes, and it will be in different categories. But the thing that is really, I think, special, and this was Kit's idea, Kit Thomas, to do a People's Choice Award, because that gets everyone involved to look at these films. Fortunately, they have narrowed down the almost 700 to around 50 of the best semifinalists. And so you can go online and look at these films and then vote for the ones you want. The thing I think that is so important in this challenging time is that all of us have moments where we need that little spark of inspiration and uplift. And believe me, having looked at so many of these, you can sure get them from these micro short films. So it is just such a delight to be involved with this. And it's also, I love this idea of taking this to the public with the Public Choice Award.
Beautiful. So I've put into the chat box the link, but for those of you who are watching on Facebook or YouTube, if you just go to YouTube and put in the search bar Illuminate Micro, and right away it starts to come up. And you go to this actual YouTube page, and that's where the films that they've chosen are. And you can go through and watch them. You can play all, you can play, pick it however you want to do it. And then vote on which one you want to choose for your People's Choice Award. And we're going to show 3 of the films tonight, in fact, right now. And I think let's start with a film that was created by one of our all-time favorite Global Peace Drivers, who's here in the audience right now. It's Tatiana. And, we've seen some of her Tatiana videos, the amazing journey she made with her beloved Mark as they were traveling cross country. A lot of us were following you in your videos. But tell us about your submission to the Microfilm Festival, which we're going to watch in a moment.
Sure. Well, first of all, it's so special to be here with the founders, and I've heard so much about you, and it's just yeah, it's really sweet to actually put a face to the festival and know who's kind of behind the scenes, making this happen and giving us all a chance to share our message and our voice with the world. And yeah, when I was invited into this festival, Bob Atkinson actually was the one who kind of was the nudge, like, you might want to submit to this. And it was so perfectly timed because Mark and I have just been kind of opening to this whole new world of filmmaking. He's already an amazing videographer and photographer, and I'm on my own a storyteller, and I love telling stories, but I had never like woven it into film before. So we've just been creatively kind of exploring this together for the first time, really. And we had just done this big journey across Canada where we had captured such exquisite footage. And we were weaving these stories together. And so this is one of the stories that we felt inspired to tell. And we called it The Path of the Mystic. And what our reflection was that, in previous times and centuries, mystics retreated into the mountains and caves and monasteries, and there was this retreat that mystics could do where they could just kind of pull out of the world. And our reflection was really that we're in a different age. Mystics are asked to actually enter the world, to bring our light down and to embrace the full spectrum of our humanity that in other times the mystic might have exiled parts of themselves actually that maybe didn't classify as spiritual or whatever. And now I feel like the mystic is making this journey into the shadow to make whole every part of ourselves. And so it's really a film about love and a film about wholeness, and that love is embracing every part of who we are, that nothing is left out, that we have to go back for every piece of ourselves. Um, and that when we do that, that's when true healing, wholeness becomes possible. So, yeah, that's what I would share about it.
Okay, let's take a look.
Mhm.
Love. All paths lead back to love. Is it not one of the main reasons why we are here? To love this earth, to love each other, and to find the love within ourselves. The path of the mystic is always a return to love, a return to the deep chambers of the heart where our wholeness, our beauty, our courage await us. It is not an easy path. This world is designed to test and challenge us again and again. But the mystic's heart is courageous. He does not try and escape this world into samadhi. He returns from the mountain. She does not strive to exile her darkness. She carries her light into the shadows to make whole every part of herself. On the path of the mystic, nothing is rejected or excluded. All things are loved back into wholeness. It is the journey of bridging our divinity with our humanity. And loving, it is always a return to love.
So beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, Tatiana. You know, it's interesting. The best-selling poet in America is a 12th century gay Islamic mystic, Rumi. And that is his whole message. His whole message was the pathway of the broken heart, and to keep returning to love, even though he went through extraordinary trauma in his life. He used the pathway of the broken heart to find the eternal beloved, to find God. And so I've thought of that as I was watching your video just now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah, so
I also would love for you to tell our audience, while we've got you live with us, you've got a very special women's circle that you're about to start. Please tell us about it, and I'll put the link into the chat box.
Sure. Yeah, so I am I'm just gonna put us on gallery view here. There we go. Yeah, so I one of the things that I also do that I'm so passionate about is offering women's circles. And these are transformational containers where I take women on really beautiful, almost like soul quests into the heart, into the body, into our full expression, into communion. And I'm starting my next one. It's coming April 13th. And it's this circle has been downloading. It feels really, I can't even put words to it exactly, but just the transformational energies that have been coming through are exquisite. And so I just wanted to extend the invitation to any woman who's looking for connection, community, who feels curious about women's circles and women's work, that this is going to be happening. And it's what I feel is really special about women's circles, especially when we gather with a shared intention. And this is going to be quite a deep journey, that it's both incredibly healing and can be very therapeutic, and a space for us really to receive and fill our cup and nurture and nourish ourselves. And it's also a space of transformation where parts of us that are ready to emerge, that are ready to be rebirthed, that are longing to be brought into the light of day get to be tilled up from the soil and start to be nurtured so that we can really become who we're here to be. So that's my invitation to you. And I don't know if I put the link in the chat, but you can check it out. Yeah, that's it.
And here it is. For those of you watching online, go to her name, TatianaSpeed.com, and then /the-oasis. And that's where you can learn all about her 7-week women's circle. and it looks beautiful. There's a lot of information here about it. And I know that about 90% of our audience tends to be women, so I'm hoping that many of our Global Peace Drivers will join you.
Amazing. Wonderful. Yeah, there's going to be it's going to be hosted inside of the Connection Field app if anyone knows about it, and it's going to sorry, Tiana.
Well, that's wonderful that many of us are part of the Connection Field.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and of course, you made that beautiful video for Julie. So, your video skills are wonderful, and we're seeing them used through many of our friends.
Thank you, Tatiana.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So,
And
Scott.
we've got a couple more. Yeah, we've got a couple more. So tell us about, I'll bring Olivia back up too to introduce the other two videos that you want us to show.
Great. So I was thinking we could show one called, I have it here.
We have Garden of Peace and we have My World.
Yes, why don't we do My World next?
Okay. And anything you want to share in introducing it, or should I just start playing?
I think we can just start playing it.
Okay.
Well, I just love how that director, who is Jorrit van der Kooi, interpreted the theme, oneness of humanity, love, kindness, and joy. I feel it's so creative. And notice there's no spoken language, right? Like, so all through moving pictures, visual storytelling, we understand in such a creative way the oneness of humanity. Do you have anything to share about that, Olivia?
It built so much anticipation to see the final product. Like, about halfway through, you go, okay, I get the gist. What's it going to look like? What's it going to look like? So it was beautiful, a really, really beautiful video.
Yeah, wasn't that, it's just so amazing and to not have a lot of words. And really, we want to get these out. I mean, we have 8 billion brothers and sisters in the world in all the different countries. And some of these really will translate very well because you won't need to translate them. You just watch the picture. So we'll be using some social media. First, we'll be using all the film distribution, and that will be wonderful. So but it's just what touches me is that when we have the public see this and vote on it, and you can experience these things right now. And I even enlisted my 2 grandchildren because I told them, I said, we've mainly got adults, and I had never heard of Generation Alpha, but anyway, apparently they're in it, the younger generation. And I said, we need some representatives and ambassadors from Gen Alpha just let us know what you think. And they are just thrilled, and they're going to have watch parties for their friends. And I just thought that was so cute.
Oh my gosh. And how old
Yeah.
are these grandchildren of yours?
Oh, well, one is 12 and and the other is 10. So yeah, but there are so many cute things that they really will appreciate like that. So
Right. Speaking of cute things, why don't we roll the next one, which is Garden of Peace, and it's directed by Tess Cacciatore.
A longtime friend of mine, I might add. Here we go.
Springing into peace, oh, can't you see? Like the blossoms of our cherry tree, growing love from seeds we sow, connecting hearts with each piece. Oh, we are one and each unique in our garden of peace. Like the blossoms of our cherry tree, growing love from seeds we sow, connecting hearts with each piece. Oh, we are one and each unique in our garden of peace.
Imagine the children all over the world living in a garden of peace.
May peace prevail on earth. Peace prevail on earth. May peace prevail on earth. Garden of peace. May peace prevail on earth. May peace prevail on earth. Garden of peace.
That was awesome. Absolutely wonderful. And of course, I didn't realize until the end that was our beloved Kristen Hoffman singing, who's co-hosting our show on Saturday night, as a matter of fact. So again, small world. And I love that. That was like totally worthy of Disney.
I agree. And Kristen's voice goes straight to the heart, doesn't it? I just tear up every time I watch that short. Yeah.
Wow, that was wonderful. All right, so I'll remind everybody to go to the YouTube channel where all of these are living. Not now. You want to stay for the Awakening World because we're about to be with Dana and Prasanna. But after the show is over or sometime soon, what we're going to want you to do is go to YouTube, go to the micro short film contest. You'll be able to find it. Just put that in the search bar. It comes up pretty quickly. And here are all the different films. And based on the 3 that we saw, I can't wait to see all the rest of them. Holy moly. And then you can vote on the People's Choice. Can people vote multiple times?
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay.
And Scott, can I jump in for 1 second?
Absolutely.
So the most exciting part to me about People's Choice is that, of course, the filmmaker gets honored and gets an award, but what's going to happen is that the People's Choice winner is going to be then part of a group of winners decided by a jury that will then be part of a mega global oneness campaign that Illuminate will be, promoting. And so that means that we will be, in a sense, distributing those selected winners into theaters, into other festivals, into conferences and summits, on social media. And we will be allowing folks to use some of these shorts for a lot of their own work. So these are the films that we really truly think are going to elevate the vibration in the world and create this energy of oneness. And so this is sort of our, kind of response to, what the world needs now. And so you are essentially voting to get, your favorites into, a campaign that's really going to reach the masses.
Yeah, thanks, Danette.
A lot of comments coming in to the chat box. People really loving all these different films. So thank you. And
Yes. And thanks to the creators, right? So many people worked so hard to bring them to Illuminate, and we're really grateful and to be stewards of them to get out into the world and reach all 8 billion brothers and sisters, right, Olivia?
Well, that's right. And the thing is that the creators, just draw this energy of love, kindness, and joy to them creating. And then when we see it, we experience in a very tangible way this love, kindness, and joy. It just uplifts us. So yes, indeed. And Jeanette, I think your point is really important that we will make these available for people to use if they're having an event, to start off with a little micro short like that and bring in that good energy into their event or program or something. So great idea.
Yeah. Yay. Well, shall we move on to talk to Dana and Chrisanna, the director and producers of Rescued Hearts?
Hi there.
Hi, ladies.
Hi. Thanks for having us.
These are alumni. These are Illuminate alum. And so I'm always especially excited to kind of bring them back on because this is not the first time they've touched hearts. Last festival they were in, they brought us an incredible film. I'm sorry, Tayana, if I'm like stealing your intro here, but
go for it.
But it was magical synchronicity that Dana and Chrisanna's first film, Love Heals, not only made it to Illuminate, but then really truly won hearts and won our audience award. And so we're very honored that we not only got to do the festival premiere of their first film, but now we will be doing the world premiere of their newest film. So I will turn that over to Tayana to talk a little more about that.
Yeah, from Love Heals to Rescued Hearts. I sense a theme in your work. Maybe before we watch the trailer, you can just talk a little bit about your journey as filmmakers and what it means to be completing is it your second feature-length film? Is that correct?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to share, and I would love for Chrisanna to share. So just briefly, after we completed Love Heals and got it distributed to PBS and Gaia, Chrisanna joked with me one day and said, "We have been working so hard and I need you to get a hobby because it's just been so much work." And I used to be around horses a lot in a volunteer perspective at therapeutic riding centers, and I've always loved it. Helping humans with horses was my thing. And so I decided to go back to that. And I just started to remember and witness more miracles in partnership with horses. The first miracle I ever witnessed about 15 years ago was a 7-year-old child who was diagnosed with autism and had never spoke a word in his life. And one session that I was in with this horse and this boy, he spoke his very first words. And it just touched my heart in ways that I can hardly describe in words. So I'm so grateful. We're creating a film about the healing power of the horse-human connection. And it was amazing because I would come home and tell Chrisanna, "Oh my gosh, all of these things I'm witnessing at this place that I volunteer at, I feel like there's something here. There's something deeper that I want to understand about this connection." And so we started to see, as I was researching all of these studies with Heart Math Institute and researchers like Dr. Ann Baldwin, who is coincidentally here tonight. I had no idea that was going to happen. She's in our film. But anyway, so we started to dig into that, and I thought, oh my goodness, all of these posts were being like they were going viral when it talked about heart coherence and how horses and humans really help each other. There's just this two-way incredible healing that takes place. And so began the journey. I told Chrisanna what my vision was, and she was pretty terrified of horses, had no experience around them. And yeah, needless to say, she really had to trust my vision. And now I don't want to speak for her, but her life has been forever changed in the last two plus years of this journey.
Oh, did you want me to share next?
Yes, Chrisanna.
Okay. I think I saw you talking, Tayana, and then I was like, oh, I don't know. Okay. Yeah, well, thanks for letting us share. And, you know, if I know you mentioned filmmaking journey. So for me, filmmaking started for me at a very young age when I was 16. And what's really interesting about this, you know, I always knew this would be my purpose, I guess, somehow, but this shift happened in me when I realized, well, that all my life I had been compartmentalizing myself, and really I hated myself for being gay. And so at 28, I came out as gay, and I hadn't been able to make a documentary before that. I was like, I always try and had all these ideas, and I'd been, you know, creating all these different types of video production and content and filmmaking, but nothing that was long form. And so as I connected with my own journey and I think accepted myself and my authentic truth, then something awoke in me. And I believe there was this spark that happened that it sort of like coincided with me beginning to love myself. That's been a whole journey, but then also in finding the love of my life, which is Dana, and being able to be my authentic self. Love Heals was birthed out of that like connection with self, connection with the love within me. And so, yeah, I mean, it's really interesting that this is called Looking Through the Lens of Love, because for me, I feel like filmmaking has been my teacher in how to love. And even this film, Rescued Hearts, I think in my approach to storytelling, it's really about how do I engage with the person across from me in a way that is loving first and not expecting or asking anything of them, but just accepting them right where they're at. And somehow that heals parts of me. And so Rescued Hearts was an extension of that, an extension of this incredible, you know, experience of witnessing miracles and witnessing healing, but realizing like every time I was healing, yeah, every exchange that we were documenting, some part of me was being made more whole. And I think I'll just end with a spiritual teacher that I really respect recently said, I heard him say, as we love our hearts, we heal all hearts. And for me, that's Rescued Hearts. Like Rescued Hearts is a collection of stories. It's a collection of hearts. And it's really coming back to like, how does love rescue us? And there's universal truth in that. And horses seem to embody this like pathway to that space where we know home, where we know unconditional love. And so that's like something that really we became really curious about, really obsessed with. And that was a long way of me getting to, I guess, where we are today. Explaining that.
Wow, Chrisanna, you just dropped so many wisdom gems, and I just have goosebumps. I mean, just what you articulated is so beautiful and so authentic. And talking about looking through the lens of love as a filmmaker, it's so important, right? Like that we don't exploit the people who are participating in our films, but that we honor them, like you said, just exactly where they are. And in creating that space, I think allows for just deep sharing and transmission to happen. So thank you for speaking to that.
Thank you. Yeah, that is my deepest passion these days. And I will just add, Danette has been such an incredible force of good for us. And it's amazing to see how film festivals really champion filmmakers. And this film is like our passion project. And I told Dana, I don't care about any other festival. I just want to premiere at Illuminate, because even this, you know, this tagline, just it says everything. Looking through the lens of love, like that is what we're about. Love is here to heal us, to guide us, to be the way. And so, yeah, I mean, it's such a gift to be able to present our baby at a place that we feel is going to hold it really sacred. So thank you so much to you both.
And I just want to recognize like y'all out there, right? There's every kind of film in the world, right? And lots of them, although even a small percentage, make them, make it out to theaters, make it out to streaming platforms, make it out. But there are very, very few that are not only conscious films, but the way that they are developed, the way that they are produced, the way that they are brought into the world is done consciously, and that the filmmakers are actually living by the truths that they are sharing in their stories. And this is one of the reasons why I'm so honored to share Dana and Chrisanna's work, because I have actually had the privilege of watching them work. I've watched them develop, this latest film, and I see the way they approach everything. And they are doing their personal inquiry 24/7, and it is a full part of their work. And it's really, really amazing and beautiful to see. And I keep telling them, hey guys, someday you guys are going to do a workshop and you guys are going to be teaching other filmmakers, because it's, incredibly authentic, and something comes through in the film when you are actually embodying the work that you are producing. So, thank you girls for modeling that.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you for bringing that up, Danette. It's so important that we're not just making conscious content, we are consciously making content. So why don't we roll the trailer?
I would love to.
Yeah.
1 second here. Okay. Here we go.
These things happen over and over and over again. And the only thing that's different is that the horse is in the equation.
She never has to talk about anything that's happened to her, and the horse will be right there alongside of her, whether she's walking with it or whether she's riding it.
Through developing this connection with the horse, it opened my heart up.
This is really big, and I think we need to quantify this as much as it's quantifiable.
Sometimes a horse is the only safe space in someone's life. I know how that feels.
There is something so far above what any of us know that forms this connection.
I also really believe that the mystery is about the healing of the heart.
The horse's heart is actually offering us a point of reference.
We could easily say it's the heart that rescues us.
I am forever changed by this experience.
Even when it looks like nothing's happening, everything is happening.
The comfort they bring to you, that they brought to me, there are no words.
What is this horse? Well, he's my missing heart.
I am reminded of who I am every single time. Oh, this is what this is about. Oh, this is why we're here.
Never in my life have I touched what I just touched.
Beyond words. How does it feel to see that trailer, ladies? After all these years of work, how do you feel?
Go ahead, babe.
Oh, I feel like an emotional mess, to be honest. I'm like barely holding it together. And it's because I feel every scene and every conversation and every horse and every heart. Oh, I can't. It's impossible to describe in words the journey that we went on and what we learned in this process as filmmakers, as humans, as all of these human beings on the other side of our lens and across from our hearts. We learned and grew and loved and cried and laughed and oh God. So watching the trailer just brings back pieces of everything that we experienced. And my hope is that each person can find something within this film that just opens their heart in a way that maybe, you know, I think every film is unique in that way, but I feel like you don't have to be a horse lover to get something out of this story, out of the journey. And so my greatest hope is that we just continue to spread more love, hope, and healing through the conscious films that we create. And Rescued Hearts is a very personal journey to me. You could tell there was some moments in there. There's one with my father that you see that changed the course of our relationship for the rest of my life. And then I had my own personal healing experience in South Africa that will be shown at the end of the film. And I'm just in awe of what we created and how it's come together. And Chrisanna and I did this on our own, and I could not be more proud of what's come together.
How about
Yeah,
you,
no,
Chrisanna?
yeah, thank you. I just, of course, echo everything Dana shared. And yes, it was us at the head, and we have had this incredible community rallying around us. And, for me as a non-horse person, especially in the beginning, I think there were a lot of people that were like, oh, well, horses aren't really my thing. And I'm like, yeah, me neither, like, but there's something here. There is something about this transmission that happens when, I say it's about horses. It's like they bring us into this space with nature where I don't know if we know where we end and they begin, which is all of nature. Like we think we're separate, but we're not. And so it's like this embodied essence that reminds us of the truth. And I think what's amazing is like we even just did a community call and like 1,500, it was like a Zoom call, right? 1,500 people registered from 55 countries. We have like a worldwide community rallied around something that was just an idea 2 years ago. And people are like demanding translations and all the, for a film they haven't seen. But what's really amazing is ever since that call that we did, every day we're getting messages from all around the world. And we had been getting them anyway, but now it's just like insane. Dana's inbox is full. But what's so cool is that I can feel that there's so much to divide us. There's so much to pull us apart. And there's something here where even on the call that we did with several hundred people, it's like it didn't matter what political background we were from. It didn't matter our religious viewpoints or cultural backgrounds. It was just like we're just here in the name of healing, and we believe in something that feels true, and it feels like some kind of ancient wisdom that we forgot when we compartmentalized and controlled and abused and decided that we had to like determine like put everything in a box, and that's kind of falling away. And there was even a song written that was written in 24 hours when someone heard about our film, and it's at the end of our film. It's called Wild and Free. And I know I'm rambling a little bit, but I'll just share a couple of the lyrics because to me, this is proof that films are transmissions of energy and when we allow ourselves to be conduits of them, because this is like something so much bigger than us. And over, we've had this community of people that's like, hey, I wrote this song. Hey, I have this design. Hey, I have this thing. I just want to be about this. And what is this? I don't know, but I think it's about love. I think it's about a transmission of love and healing that the world is ready for. So the lyrics that I won't say the whole song, but there's an ending point that we co-wrote with the songwriter. And so it says, every time I am by your side, there is no more night. I can feel your spirit shine in mine. I'm finally alive and I don't have to fight. This must be what heaven feels like. And that song is called Wild and Free. And the chorus is wild and free in your majesty. I can just breathe. You do that for me. And so I say all this because I just invite people to come to the festival, to come watch the film, because even if you're not a horse person, there is something that moves through this film that is so much bigger than us. And we just feel like this incredible gratitude. And to me, the trailer's a picture of that. Just this gratitude of like, love wins. Love always wins. And we're the light boxes, and we're trying to be conduits of a message that we think is really going to help people wherever they're at. And so that's my hope and prayer, is that the film really just touches people wherever they're at. And if they're not ready for it, it's okay. But for those who are ready, I think they're going to walk away forever changed, as we have been forever changed in this process.
Rosanna, you've certainly touched the hearts of many of our audience members. I'm going to read some of the comments. Lynn and Leaf wrote, "Goddess bumps." Susan Blomquist writes, "This is a testimonial of love. I loved to ride horses when I was younger, the freedom and the connection." Tatiana writes, "I'm crying. That was exquisite." Amashore writes, "Profound." Kathy writes, "I'm crying. I can feel it so strongly." Ayada writes, "This is so beautiful. I've received healing from 2 medicine horses on Vancouver Island. There's an actual herd there. It was truly indescribable. One of them was in deep telepathic communication with me, to the extent that I wondered if I was imagining it. The woman who's the steward of the herd assured me it was not imagination. I cannot wait to see this full film. Thank you so much, Dana and Kusana." We do have time to share the song. Is the song in a place that you can share it? Let's do it.
Sorry if I just threw us under the bus, babe, but this song and the footage that goes with it, like, you guys, it would be the most beautiful way to like end our time with you. Is it available, Chrisana?
It is available, and I'll say that I'm happy to share it. I'll say this. Dana's dad watched this song, and the reason I created the lyric video is because he watched it, and he's a man that's not emotive, and you'll see in the film there was an amazing healing that happened, but he sobbed at the end of the song, and he said, "She did it," because he had a session with a horse and he didn't know how to put words to that. And he just sobbed and he said, "She did it. She put words to the very thing that I didn't know how to." And it gives me chills saying that, because there's so much in this song, and because as he said that, then he said, "I just wish I could have heard every word. Like, I wish I could have read it." And I was like, "Oh, well, then I'll make a lyric video. That'll be fun." So this was something I put together. This is not in the film in this way. It's in the film differently, but in this way you get to really experience every word. So if we have time, I'm happy to share it. It's just a couple minutes.
Go for it, please.
Okay, you got it. Let me just grab it here. Okay, turn up the volume a little.
A little spark of hope shone on the horizon, but still the sky was dim. I was so alone, no one to confide in. My heart was sinking, so desperate just to find somehow to ease my mind. Now I take my pain and climb. Let's go for a ride, shine into my night. I can feel your strength in every stride. I've been here many times and I've lost this fight, but now I know what your light feels like, wild and free. In your majesty, I can just breathe. When I came to you, I bowed my head in silence. There were no words to say. The closer that you drew, you melted my defiance, and then you led the way. You showed me how to find a way to ease my mind. Now I take my pain and for a ride. Shine into my night. I can feel your strength in every stride. I've been here many times, and I have lost this fight. But now I know what your light feels like. Wild and free. In your majesty, I can just breathe. You do that for me. Wild and free. Oh, I can just breathe. You do that for every time I am by your side. There is no more night. I can feel your spirit shine in mine. I'm finally alive, and I don't have to fight. This must be what heaven feels like. Wild and free. In your majesty, I can just breathe. You do that for me.
Wow.
Wow. Oh, Christina, I have to ask, are you now more of a horse person than you were going in?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I love that question. Thank you. Yeah, it's interesting because I wouldn't like Dana still volunteers every week, and she's like a part horse, I think, and it's like her spirit animal or something. But for me, it's like I'm not seeking out that connection necessarily. But even right now, as I watch parts of our film, I feel a transmission anytime I look in horses' eyes, whether it's in person or through a screen. And there is something that I cannot explain. But when we were in South Africa, there was this woman who facilitates these sessions, and I walked into this space, and the horses were anchoring the space before anyone came in. This is just what they do there, and I'd never seen anything like it. And I just started crying, and I didn't stop crying until Dana was done with her session, and it was like we were filming for a couple hours, because I felt it was holy. I felt like it was just so beautiful and so sacred and so ancient. And so I say all that because those are the only words I have. But I just feel horses are, I don't know where they're from. I don't know why they're here, but I think they're anchoring some kind of energy that we're meant to remember. And that's why we're obsessed with them. And people find their way in this wild and free energy. And, we recently heard someone say that the feminine rising, the divine feminine rising is wild and free. And so I was like, it's so weird. So, I just think it's all connected, whether we're in the spiritual world, whether we're in the world of connecting with nature. It's just like we're all being guided to the same truth. And so I'm still curious about that. And anytime I'm around horses, I'm still a little cautious. But yeah, I mean, I think there's some kind of powerful, beautiful being that also deserves dignity and respect and caretaking. And that's why the last half of our film is really focused on that horses deserve this kind of energetic exchange in which they're allowed to heal too, because there's also plenty of abused and broken horses that need a lot of support. So, we really tried to do this holistic picture of what this looks like. And I think that was a lot more than you asked, but I guess I kept talking.
But there's so much more. There's so much more. And here's the thing, if people come to Illuminate in Santa Barbara, your film is, as we said, world premiering on Friday, May 2nd. I believe we have a 6:30 p.m. showing. And this is at the Newvic Theater in Santa Barbara. And after that, there will be a panel discussion with you both, some experts from the film, and we're going to go deep. And we're going to go into heart coherence and all of the good stuff. So illuminatefilmfestival.com, people can buy passes, or now, just now, individual tickets. So if you're even remotely in the Santa Barbara area, like in California at all, just drive on down. And definitely, you don't want to miss the world premiere. I mean, we really, as Danette said, we're so honored to have it. And there couldn't be a more perfect fit, right? To be, as you said, Chrisana, I think like the baby is being born and like we are holding it, and it feels so right.
Well, we so appreciate you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Great to see you both again, Chrisana and Dana. Really beautiful. Look forward to seeing you in person in Santa Barbara. Danette, look at the baby you gave birth to and how it's got legs. It's what, 10 years old now, 11 years old. So it's got a lot of
preteen.
Yep. It's
Yep. Sending her to school and, being like at the door, okay. Off you go to Santa Barbara. But yeah, it's really beautiful because, every time I see, a new film that we're going to premiere and I meet the filmmakers, obviously, that are behind those films, I'm speaking personally, it brings me back to my purpose, right? And it was a purpose that I searched for a long time. I did my Eat, Pray, Loves and my, gallivanting around the world looking for what I was meant to be on the planet for. And every time I feel this connection, right, between, with these filmmakers and with these films and with the audience, it just fills my heart, personally. So thanks for hearing me and taking this moment to hear
Great to
what's on my heart.
see both of you. I have so much admiration for both of you for what
Aww.
you created. And it has become a wonderful tradition for us to preview the show and the festival every year on our show. And I'm looking forward to being with you in Santa Barbara. Danette, are you going to be in Santa Barbara this year?
Of course. I would
Yeah.
never miss it.
Just want to make sure.
And Scott, I would just love to acknowledge the rest of our team. We have a wonderful interim executive director, Kia Kiso. We have Hillary Carr.
Who's here with us tonight, by the way?
Oh,
Kia's
is she here? Okay. Well, so really want to acknowledge her and all of her hard work leading up to this festival. And then also Kit Thomas and Hillary Carr, who have been working hard as festival producers. And all of us have been working together on the Micro Shorts contest with Olivia. And I also want to acknowledge again the Holo Movement, our key sponsor. And we love collaborating with them as well. And yeah, we're really just so excited to share with your community, Scott. And thank you all for your attention and just like bringing your hearts to these couple hours. We feel you. We feel how much you support conscious media, and it means so much to us. So thank you.
Yeah, there's some beautiful comments in the chat box from our audience. And thank you, Tayana. Thank you, Danette. Thank you, Kia. Nice to meet you. Thank you for posting a few important links in the chat box. And I look forward to seeing all of you in Santa Barbara. And for our audience that can't make it to Santa Barbara, of course, please buy your online passes. And again, just go to Illuminate Film Festival. There's a lot of information there. Really, spend some time there, taking a look at the schedule. There's so much that they're doing, and it really looks quite wonderful. So go through the schedule, see what you want to participate in. If you're going to come to live, you can see all the different individual events. Or if you're going to come to the online thing, buy the package pass. And Tayana, how long, for the people who buy the online pass, how long do they have access to the films?
Right. So on May 5th, most of the virtual films will be available. And so people will have essentially a week to watch. And we have some wonderful shorts programs. And then, as I said, the Heart Revolution will kick us off with a live watch party. And that is May 5th at 2 p.m. And the other thing I want to mention is Mark Nepo will be hosting him. He's the wonderful poet of the Book of Awakening. Many people I know have that book by their bedside, and he's known as Oprah's favorite poet. Mark Nepo will be with us live on Thursday. What is that, like May 8th, maybe? I think at noon. So that's also a global live community event with Mark Nepo, and he has so much wisdom to share. He'll be speaking about the power of friendship and community. And all of this information is on our website, as you said, Scott, so people can find how to buy. And I really encourage you, if you can't be at the in-person, buy the virtual pass, because then you can just pop into everything and you have a week to watch all of these wonderful films and programs. So hope to see you there.
And you've got people like Matt Kahn, the Dalai Lama. I mean, some of our...
Yes, we have the Dalai Lama on film. I wish we had him in person. But yes, and Matt and Joy Kahn will be with us in person in Santa Barbara for a workshop on Sunday, May 4th.
Yeah, I saw that. That looks
Looking
great.
forward to that.
Yeah. Thank you, Tayana. Give my love to Kit, and thank you for...
I will.
All right.
Thank you, Scott. Thanks to everybody.
You know, her partner is named Kit Thomas. And for decades, people have gotten Scott Thomas confused with Kit Thomas. And even my own Siri, when I put in my own name, pulls up Kit Thomas instead of Scott Thomas. So there you have it. Even
Scott, Kit said he thinks he has gotten a couple accidental dates in years past. People who were trying to go on a date with Scott Thomas who ended up with Kit Thomas. And vice versa, I think.
Yeah. It's worked both ways. Thank you, Tayana.
Thank you.
Wow. Well, we're going to, of course, close in a moment with an Om Shore song, but I want to remind everybody that we are having our big 5-year anniversary celebration this Saturday night. And because we've got so many amazing people that are going to be with us, we're going to start the show 1 hour earlier. So make a point of it right now, put it in your calendars. We're going to start at 5 o'clock Pacific time and look at the lineup. Celebrating 5 years of Global Peace Tribe shows, Kristen Hoffman, Reverend Deborah Giusti, who started it all with me when we were doing Saturday Night Live. Tatiana will be back with us. Larissa Stowe, Fanny and Vigari, Tangela, Alan Steinfeld, more music with Astra Fox, and of course, beloved Om Shore. So it's going to be an amazing evening. And in addition to all of those people, we're going to hear from some of you. I definitely want to hear from some of you who've been with us for quite some time. You don't have to have been with us from the very, very beginning, although we definitely want to hear from Karen S., who I know was at the very first one we did on April 4th, 2020. We want to hear from some of you. So if you do want to say a few words, send me a text message between now and Saturday night to kind of put you into the agenda, and definitely join us. Now, for those of you who have not registered yet, of course, everybody in our Zoom room right now has registered for the new season. But for those of you who haven't, those of you who might be watching on YouTube or Facebook, it's the perfect time. Join the Global Peace Tribe. It's very easy. Just go to globalpeacetribe.com. Globalpeacetribe.com. You can learn all about our upcoming shows. You can learn about our history and click register for the new season. That takes you to our registration page. And it takes about 2 minutes to register for as low as $22. And you will get all the Zoom room links to all of our shows. We do a show every Wednesday night, every Saturday night, and we do special shows. We do Sacred Sunday shows and special events. So definitely now is the time, because this week is the first week of our brand new 3-month season, taking us all the way to the end of June. And we're going to be highlighting and celebrating several other festivals. The New Living Festival, New Living Expo, I think they called it. Kenny Kaufman's show, we're going to be doing that. I just scheduled something with Soul Play. We're going to be highlighting Soul Play Festival. We're going to be highlighting, oh my gosh, I'm having a little blank, but several things. We're going to have an evening with Marianne Williamson coming up. Got some really wonderful things planned, and always keeping you updated on the latest going on with the whole UFO phenomenon. And most of all, keeping us inspired. You know, so much of what you saw tonight is what we're all about. Inspiration, inspiring as we watch these movies, as these trailers, even the micro shorts. Each one of them was so heart-opening. And that's what we are. We are about inspiration during these transformational times. Like Tayana pointed out, it is an awakening world. We're not there yet. You know what? We're getting there. We're waking up. And it's important to be with like-minded souls like Olivia Hanson and Tayana and Danette and all the people you saw tonight, to help remind us that what the mainstream media wants us to know is polarization, death, destruction, negativity. And there's also a lot of wonderful things going on in the world. And that's what we're trying to focus on, is some of the wonderful people and things going on in the world. So please do join the Global Peace Tribe. Now's the time to do that. And the very best part of the Global Peace Tribe is Omashar. And you get to experience Omashar, usually 2 or 3 songs every show. And to remind you of the beauty of Omashar, here's the man himself.
What an amazing show. Thank you so much. I am touched, and I really look forward to seeing as many of the films from the festival as possible. But however, I look so much forward to seeing the one about the healing power of the horse. Touched my heart. When I used to live in Hawaii, I was next to a horse farm where they brought in people, children under 16 who had been traumatized, and they actually spent 2-3 months with the horses and came out as brand new, sparkling, pure beings again. So anyway, that's all I'm going to say. And the song is called We Feel Love. I had a lot of words, but I don't really have any words. This show has touched me to the core. Thank you, everybody who participated in it. In a sea of illusion, feeling so alone, and lost on a wave of confusion. Where do you turn? Flow with the tide of completion. Know the reason why. Drink in the waters of healing and be healed. Where inside of us, we've got a friend. And we remember the design of our lives. We remember the desire in our hearts. And we feel love. And we feel dive into the depths of your being. Know that all is well. And dive into the deepest ocean. And see the truth. Cast off the cover of darkness. Free yourself from fear. And show that you're ready and willing to make the change. We're coming home to the part of us that's waking up. And we know deep inside of us, we've got a friend. We remember the design of our lives. We remember the desire in our hearts. And we feel love. And we feel
Yay, Twinkles to Omashar. And this time I've got his website up properly, omashar.com. And if you scroll down, that's where the links to get his music, and Bandcamp is the best way to do it. So go to Bandcamp and get Omashar music. And come to the Awakening World every Wednesday and Saturday night. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to go to gallery view one more time. Hey, I want to acknowledge Benedict is still with us. Now, this is impressive. It's got to be, it's breakfast time in Germany.
It's almost 5 o'clock in München.
Benedict, I'm impressed. We'll bring up Tayana one more time. Thank you, Tayana. You're a wonderful co-host. Danette, I love you so much. Olivia Hanson, thank you. And Olivia is a supporter of the Global Peace Tribe, and I really want to thank you for your support of with the Holo movement, of Illuminate Film Festival, of Global Peace Tribe. Thank you, Olivia. Thank you very much. And going to gallery view for all of our wonderful friends, all these beautiful faces. Thank you, everybody. Remember, we're starting 1 hour earlier on Saturday night, this week only. So join us and tell your friends. Let's grow the tribe. Have a beautiful few days, and I'll see you all